Hey viewers, if you would like to get too soon trending news videos, please subscribe to our channel, Daily Bulletin News, and stay with us. Recently, John has been experiencing some unease on days of our lives. Distracted and disheveled, he wanders Salem streets, worrying Marlena as he disappears from their house. She even phones Steve for assistance because she is so worried. Perhaps that is the last thing John needs though. Since Constantine has been poking fun at the guy's past, it's becoming evident that Steve is more knowledgeable about John's time as the pawn than he has been letting on. We've only heard whispers about what's coming and how big it would be thus far. Although the story is somewhat of a rewrite of history, as Drake Hodgeston revealed a while ago, it is still an incredible tale. Additionally, the actor revealed to Soaps.com that John and Marlena are about to experience a major upheaval. However, how large? This could be very important if we are correct, and Steve is the key to it all. In their previous lives, Patch and John had multiple encounters while on assignment, and they weren't always on the same side, as he noted in Monday's episode. He then asked John if he remembered anything from his past. Acknowledging that there were some things he'd rather forget, he appeared to be fishing to determine whether or not he should be concerned about something resurfacing. Something he might be reluctant to disclose to others. So why, each time Constantine brings it up, is Steve so obviously lying about having known area in Greece? What does he conceal from his history? What is it that he wishes no one to know? It might not even have a direct bearing on what Constantine is aware of. Steve might simply be concerned that learning more about his and John's past will reveal something terrible that he has been trying desperately to hide. We are aware that he had a job with Victor in the past, but it was merely a job, not that he was particularly devoted. Ultimately, when the enigmatic bandaged pawn initially appeared, Steve took advantage of him and effectively held him hostage until Victor gave him the money. Prior to that, the only real information we have about Steve is that he and Beau parted ways after the Merchant Marines, and he later turned up in Salem working for Victor. But who's to say Victor wasn't employed by another shady crime boss? Ultimately, Stefano was also present during the 1980s, leading a life akin to a villain, and he has repeatedly mistreated Steve throughout the years. Perhaps he should have just employed Steve for a few odd jobs with his plenty of resources before brainwashing and brain-chipping him. Something like picking up some jerk named John Robichaux and giving him to the Phoenix. Perhaps Steve was unaware of what Stefano had in store for him. Furthermore, it's possible that Steve only recently realized it was him due to John's plastic surgery. Before we discovered a few years ago that despite all the changes and make-believe exits, John is actually a Robichaux, nobody knew his real history. That may have been sufficient for Steve to recall grabbing Stefano all those years ago from someone with that exact name, and remaining silent. What, after all, would he say? I apologize for ruining your life and taking away your history, friend.